So thank you very much indeed. So, Mr. Chairman, Honourable Chief Guest, Vice Chancellors, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the 4th Conference on Globalization, Entrepreneurship and Emerging Economies, being held here at the Daffodil International University, Dhaka, Bangladesh. This event is sponsored by Centre for Business and Economic Research, United Kingdom, Daffodil International University, Bangladesh, Banabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Maritime University, Bangladesh, Centre for Innovative Leadership Navigation, United Kingdom. Events of this nature have a truly international flavour, with previous conferences being held twice in Egypt, India, and now in Bangladesh. I am pleased to announce that these events are having a global effect and leaving a positive footprint for future success across the world of professional learning and research. It is fair to say that in the world of sometimes rapid and demanding change, it is heartening that this conference has been born out of a spirit of collaboration and cooperation. In that spirit, it is only right that this conference is being held here in Bangladesh, a country that is metamorphically changing its worldly outlook and striving to achieve momentous change to face the future. Not only is Bangladesh becoming an outward-looking nation, it is now seen as setting benchmarks of change, not just for the population, but setting standards for other nations to follow. In my first short stay here, I have seen and experienced the passion of this nation's youth. Their enthusiasm and their will to succeed is something I have not seen in the world's youth for many years. Bangladesh should be proud of its youth. Therefore, may the journey of success continue. May I now move to acknowledge the presence of the following special contributors to this event, and in doing so, respectfully ask them that as I introduce them to the audience, that they take up their respective places in the seats here on the stage. As I announce, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome of respect. May I introduce Professor Masbuharuddin Ahmed, Chairman, Bangladesh Accreditation Council, People's Republic of Bangladesh. I recognize the presence of Dr. Sabur Khan, although he's not sitting on the stage, but has a presence in the audience. In his place, may I invite Dean of Business School, Dr. Masoom Iqbal. Professor Dr. Yusuf Mahabul Islam, unfortunately, has been delayed because of his plane not being here on time. In his place, might I invite the Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Ahmed Ismail Mustafa, Dean, Allied Health Science, DIU. Again, my great pleasure to introduce Rear Admiral Mohammed Khalid Iqbal, Vice Chancellor, BSM Maritime University, Bangladesh. Dr. P.R. Datta, Executive Chair, Centre for Business and Economic Research, London, United Kingdom. Might I also invite the first keynote speaker in preparation for his time as a keynote speaker to come onto the stage, Professor Dr. Saeed Rashidul Hassan. Although absent, I also at this time acknowledge Professor Mark Jones, Centre for Innovative Leadership Navigation, who regretfully cannot be with us on this occasion because of ill health. I'm sure you will join me in sending him our best for a speedy recovery. Thank you. It is now my pleasure. May I now ask the first of our invited chairs to say a few introductory words. Dr. Ahmed Ismail Mustafa, Dean Allied Health and Science, DIU.
Honorable Chief Guest of this session for the 4th International Conference on Globalization, Entrepreneurship and Emerging Economics, Professor Misbah-ud-Din Ahmed, Chairman, Bangladesh Accreditation Council. Special guest, Rear Admiral Khaled Iqbal, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Maritime University, Bangladesh. Dr. Muhammad Sabur Khan, Honorable Chairman, Board of Trustees, Daffodil International University. Dr. P.R. Dotto, Executive Chief, Centre for Business and Economic Research, London, United Kingdom. Mr. Mark T. Jones, Director, Centre for Innovative Leadership Navigation, London, United Kingdom. Professor David Graves, Nottingham Trent University, Centre for International Law Enforcement, United Kingdom. Professor Dr. Saeed Rashidul Hassan, Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management, University of Dhaka, Bangladesh. Professor Dr. Muhammad Masoom Iqbal, Dean, Faculty of Business and Entrepreneurship, Daffodil International University, Dhaka. Respected participants of this international conference from Bangladesh, Canada, India, Italy, Malaysia, Mexico, Nigeria, Russia, Thailand, United States of America, and United Kingdom. Respected invited guests and all other participants, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good morning to you all. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my proud privilege to address this august gathering in this auspicious occasion. I, on behalf of the authorities of the Daffodil International University in general, on behalf of all the faculty members, researchers, and students, and on my own behalf, would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to Daffodil International University, one of the leading private universities of this country, a university with lots of unique and distinguished features, outstanding opportunities, amenities, and creativity. Respected participants, colleagues, and friends, you all are aware that this very important 3 days long international conference has been jointly organized by Daffodil International University, Centre for Business and Economic Research, UK, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Maritime University, Bangladesh, and Centre for Innovative Leadership Navigation, UK. I, on behalf of the Daffodil International University authorities, express our sincere gratitude and indebtedness to the organizers of this international conference for choosing Daffodil International University as the venue. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very much amazed to learn that this conference will be comprised of 11 tracks and a total of 25 academic sessions, where about 75 papers of 92 authors from 11 countries will be presented. It is a great and hectic job indeed, but once again, I, on behalf of the Daffodil International University Authority, promise to keep our hands always extended to cooperate and help you all if and when it is required. Before winding up my deliberation, let me tell you, my dear friends, that our slogan at Daffodil International University is, "We shall not be job seekers, we will be job providers." I'm very much happy to understand that this conference on globalization, entrepreneurship, and emerging economics is very much closely related to our motto. And therefore, we are eagerly awaiting to have the recommendations of this conference. And we in Daffodil International University believe that these recommendations, if implementable, will pave our path to pinnacle of success that we are looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, with these few words, I declare this international conference open. We in Daffodil International University sincerely wish this conference a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Might I next ask the Dean of the Business School, Dr. Masam Iqbal, to come to the rostrum.
As a responsible institution, you know, a university is a place to create knowledge, cultivate knowledge, and disseminate knowledge. And I believe you will agree with me that conference like this one is one of the most conducive platforms for doing so. Having that in our mind, today we are here and we are organizing this conference. I'm so delighted to see all the distinguished personalities here. Our chief guest, special guest, conference chairs, chairs of the sessions, speakers, keynote speakers, my esteemed colleagues, and distinguished participants. And definitely some of you are from different countries, traveling a long way to Bangladesh, having all the travels. Very good morning to all of you. As in the opening remarks of our respected Professor Ahmed Ismail Mustafa said, it is a 3-day program and it comprises a good number of sessions in 11 different tracks. And these tracks include all the major disciplines of business and entrepreneurship. I hope it is a unique opportunity for us for learning, having networks, building sense of belongingness, sharing fresh ideas and thoughts among us. And all these will have a domino effect on our knowledge and wisdom. It is my strong belief. And these are needed for us to take this country to the next level as an emerging economy. Today, we are having some distinguished personalities. Professor Majbuddin Ahmed, Honorable Chairman, Bangladesh Accreditation Council, People's Republic of Bangladesh. Sir was so generous. I, along with our Director of International Affairs, Professor Fakhri Hussain, we went to his office. He was so kind and generous to give his consent to be present, to be with us on this holy occasion. And we have Rear Admiral M. Khalid Iqbal, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Bangladesh Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Maritime University, Bangladesh University. definitely our Honorable Chairperson and the founder of this university, Dr. Mohammad Sobur Khan, Professor Dr. Ahmad Ismail Mustafa, Dean Allied Health Science of this university, Daffodil International University, Dr. P.R. Dotto, Executive Chair, Center for Business and Economic Research, Mark T. Jones, Director, Center for Innovative Leadership Navigation, London, United Kingdom, Professor David Graves, Nottingham Trent University, and our respected and beloved Professor Syed Rashidul Hassan. He is one of the pioneering personalities in the industry of tourism in our country. And it's my immense pleasure, great pleasure, and honor to welcome you all to this conference. And I'm welcoming you all to the inaugural session of 4th International Conference on Globalization, Entrepreneurship, and Emerging Economies. And at the same time, I'd like to pay my gratitude and thanks to all of our partners, Center for Business and Economic Research, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Maritime University, Center for Innovation, Leadership, Navigation, for being with us, organizing in this conference. My sincere gratitude and thanks to Dr. Mohammad Sobur Khan for guiding us, inspiring us, and all the supports he gave to organize this session, this conference. And again, my thanks to Professor Dr. Dotto. We have a lot of conversation, a lot of interactions with him in organizing this event, and I pay thanks to all my team members, the head of the departments of Faculty of Business and Entrepreneurship. With these few words, I'd like to conclude here by welcoming you all to this 3-day-long conference. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much indeed. May I now ask Dr. Datta, the Executive Chair, Centre for Business and Economic Research, London, UK, to come to the rostrum.
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Chief Guest, Special Guest, Honored Guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am so delighted to welcome you to the 4th International Conference on Globalization, Entrepreneurship, and Emerging Economies, co-hosted here in Bangladesh by the Center for Business and Economic Research and Daffodil International University in Bangladesh, and also sponsored by Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Maritime University and Center for Innovative Leadership Navigation in UK. It is fitting that this conference is being held in a country that itself has been an emerging economy, one that has developed to such a degree that it could be said to have truly emerged, and as a result is helping lift thousands out of poverty each year on year. For me, this is the added dimension that this conference is taking place in the land of my birth, at a university that is forefront of development, entrepreneurship, and innovation. It is fitting that there has been a tremendous response to this conference, one that underscores the importance of the need to engage, interact, and be open to fresh ideas and learning. I'm really pleased to see so many institutions from Bangladesh and number of countries being represented at this conference, a fact that is not only healthy, but vital if lasting solutions are to be found for some of the challenges we are facing in this world. At this stage, we thank all our committee members, track chairs, reviewers, and especially you in making this conference successful. We have received over 120 submissions, including full text and abstracts. Total 95 papers were accepted after the completion of blind review process. However, finally 75 papers, including workshops and keynote addresses, were registered for these oral presentations. The conference proceedings titled The Business and Management Review contain 64 contributions, including abstract and full paper, conforming to the principal objectives of the conference proceedings and the conference. It is an honor for all of us at this conference to have with us Professor Mesbauddin Ahmed, Chairman, Bangladesh Accreditation Council, People's Republic of Bangladesh, Rear Admiral M. Khalid Iqbal, Vice Chancellor, Bangamundra Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Maritime University, Bangladesh; Professor Chris Bellamy, Professor Emeritus of Maritime Security, University of Greenwich; Professor Joan Roll, Dean Business School, Medgar Evers College of City University of New York; Professor Banerjee from Amity University in India; and Professor Said Rashidul Hassan, Bangamundra Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Maritime University, Bangladesh, a number of local and international distinguished keynote speakers and discussants at this conference. We firmly believe that this conference will help you significantly in your pursuit of research, scholarship, and practice, and aid in supporting your future career development. We have full confidence all delegates will have an appreciable, successful, and stimulating conference and productive time in which a lot will be learned and a lot will be remembered. For some international delegates, this may be your first visit to Bangladesh, and I am confident that your time here will be full of surprises. I hope that you will be able to enjoy Bangladeshi hospitality and have an opportunity to experience something of the dynamism that is helping the country to drive forwards. We may have arrived as a stranger, but I feel confident that we will be living as a friend. I was introduced to these great institutions by Professor Rahim, a man of great personal integrity who attended a number of international conferences organized by Center for Business and Economic Research in UK and USA. He was instrumental in inviting me to conduct a special workshop on academic research in Bangladesh. That visit resulted in my meeting Professor Sobur Khan, the founder and chairman, the Board of Trustees of Daffodil International University, and it is his vision that and commitment to higher education, both locally and globally, that this conference has come into being. No conference of this significance just happens, and I have been fortunate to have encountered tremendous professionalism in those who have helped put this event together. I particularly want to acknowledge the role of University Dean, Professor Masum Iqbal, who has worked tirelessly from Daffodil International University side back and forth for the last 10 months. Furthermore, we are extremely fortunate that the Vice Chancellor Rear Admiral Khalid Iqbal of Bangamundra Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Maritime University has contributed by way of a special session that has attracted keynote speakers and number of submissions. This session will contribute not only to the advancement of knowledge, but to the overall quality of the conference. On behalf of the Center of Business and Economic Research and Center for Innovative Leadership Navigation, we would like to extend our gratitude for such generous support and cooperation. This conference is a fitting reminder of the need to the outward looking, of the value of benchmarking, and the paramount importance of putting research into public domain, especially internationally. No nation can afford to be complacent. If globalization teaches us anything, it is the need to learn from others, to adapt, and constantly strive to improve our offering. Lasting development in Bangladesh can only come from promotion of merit and a collaborative spirit, one that sees partnership, enterprise, and a commitment to meaningful research. Higher education must be at the forefront of development and innovation, with a concerted drive to move up world academic ranking whilst also meeting the needs of a nation in an era of rapid and sometimes bewildering change. Quality assurance, training, curiosity, passion, and a love of subject should also play their part in higher education. This conference is a golden opportunity to forge new connections, both locally and internationally. Higher education can be truly transformative, and it is up to each of us and our respective institutions and organizations to play our part. It is vital that more Bangladeshi academics participate in international conferences, as this helps them when it comes to preparing to submit their research paper to academic journals. Along with being more outward looking, it is essential that there is a greater rigor and benchmarking, sometimes we all benefit from in the eternal quest of excellence. Finally, over recent months, as I have prepared for this conference, I have been reflecting on leadership. On the 17th of March 2020, It will be the centenary of the birth of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the father of Bangladesh. His example reminds us the leadership takes courage and vision, something we can all learn from us as we endeavor to move forward in our respective life and career. I want to thank our host, sponsors, and most importantly, all of you who have invested time and energy to take trouble and to come to attend this conference. I wish you a successful, provocative, thoughtful next 3 days conference here at Daffodil International University. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to invite Rear Admiral Mohammed Khalid Iqbal, Vice Chancellor, BSMR Maritime University, to the rostrum.
Professor Misbauddin Ahmed, the Chairman of Bangladesh Accreditation Council, our host of this particular session, Professor Ahmad Ismail Mustafa, the Acting Vice Chancellor, Mr. Sabur Khan, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Daffodils University, all the organizers, the special guests from home and abroad, and the students and ladies and gentlemen present, a very good morning to you all. First of all, this is a matter of immense pleasure and privilege for me as the Vice Chancellor of the Maritime University to be present here among this august gathering. We consider that the Daffodils University itself is one of the leading private universities in Bangladesh. We are thankful to the government of our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, the way she has been giving huge importance on the inclusion of the private and public universities. And last 10 years, the number of universities that has been added to our inventory. Right now, we have got more than 100 private universities and more than 45 public universities in Bangladesh. And if I can recollect the total number, more than 35 lakhs students in the higher education sectors, they pass out every year. Without the contribution of these private universities, where all these students would have gone? So this is very important that at every sector, these private universities really are patronized by all of us. Having said that, this is indeed a wonderful occasion, because I know that the Center of Innovation, Leadership and Navigation of the UK is a very good organization who really goes around the world and arranges this sort of seminars, conferences. And I was just having a look on the particular theme of this particular 3 days conference, that globalization, emerging economies, and entrepreneurship. All the three aspects that we really need in Bangladesh quite a lot, especially our young generation. They need to know the aspects of the globalization, the emerging economies. Bangladesh is among the 11 EMD countries. Whereas our per capita income was less than $400 even 10 years, 12 years back. And just imagine today, we have got the per capita income which has really crossed $1,800. Our GDP growth is continuously more than 7% last 10 years or 8 years' time. And it has crossed 8% just few months back. So Bangladesh is now really on a spree of economic development. There are huge development projects, the mega projects are going on. And this is a time that we have the Vision 2041, when Bangladesh is supposed to arrive at the status of the developed country. So what does it mean, the developed country? At every sector, the education sector, the private sector, business sector, we need to interpret the actual meaning of this status of developed country, where we need to go there. So each sector, each subsector that we are working on, we need to do our jobs so that all of our efforts contribute as a whole in the reaching of this particular goal for a developed status by 2041. I am very happy today that this conference has included a particular session on the maritime theme, and it is going to come in the next session. You might have heard about the aspects of the blue economy. In the world, now the blue economy is going to be one of the major contributor in the national economy of the country and as well as in the regional economy. The government has been giving a lot of importance of the aspects of the blue economy in the recent years. Our maritime boundary delimitation has taken place successfully with both our neighbors, India and Myanmar, and a lot of blue economy concepts and projects are going on. The deep sea ports are coming up, the special economic zones, the coastal industries, the economic corridors are coming up, and a lot of renewable energy, the research is going on. And I'm happy that the Daffodil University and the CILN UK has considered Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Maritime University as a partner. And I'm sure I was checking the various credentials of the Daffodil University. It is high time that, and it's the right time that we are in collaboration with this university. I hope to see that in future there will be some new departments on the maritime faculties which are going to open in this university, maybe in the Australia campus. And I can assure you, from my university side, all the cooperation and support would be rendered and extended to the Daffodil University in this regard. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much once again. And I wish this seminar and 3 days conference a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Rear Admiral. We now have a speech and extended exposition by the chief guest, Professor Mesbahar Hudin Ahmed, Chairman, Bangladesh Accreditation Council, People's Republic of Bangladesh.
In this international conference on globalization, entrepreneurship, and emerging economies, organized by the Daffodil University, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Maritime University, and their partners in the UK, some partners in the UK. I am very delighted to be here, and I have been invited, although I'm not an expert in the area, which is globalization, entrepreneurship, and the emerging economies. I studied physics in the University of Dhaka and retired from there and did some work on quality of education in the UGC. I was in charge of quality assurance unit. I was heading that, and then in that capacity I developed the sort of, what I should say, a framework to assure quality. You know, quality is not a very easy thing to define. It's neither, it has got any absolute definition or anything. We need to define it ourselves. What we have done in this context is that we have studied what is done in the other countries, in the developed countries, and brought for ourselves a framework, which is basically outcome-based education. And outcome-based education meaning that you can define education quality in the sense that there are a set of processes or methods. If you follow that, you will achieve the quality. But that is not good enough for our practical purposes. The practical purposes, the definition is what are the products, that means the graduates coming out of the university are going to achieve. How successful are they in their professions when they have got the degree? So that's the operational definition. So we have to develop the quality education, meaning that we have to reform the curricula so that once the graduate got the degree, once they got the degrees from the universities, they are useful in the society. They can make sure there will not be so many educated, jobless people around. They can make use of their education. That is precisely what is aimed at. That is outcome-based education. To do that, to achieve that, we will work. My organization, which you have heard, is called the Bangladesh Accreditation Council. It has been newly formed by the Bangladesh government, and this this accreditation council is in charge of doing accreditation of all the degrees, the engineering, general degree, medical, agriculture, and also the degrees that will be offered by the private and public universities. Remember, there are two things that we are supposed to do. One is to ensure quality, and next is to accreditate them. The two are related to each other. It's very difficult to ensure quality, and it has got a vast implications. How do you ensure quality of higher education? Quality of higher education will encompass not only the education or degrees that are offered in the universities, private and public, it also will have the degrees that are offered by the colleges in the Bangladesh. You know there are about 2,400 colleges, private and public, and there are many, many thousands of graduates. Most of the higher educated degrees are coming from there. And my job also is to look at the quality of those graduates that are coming out. It's a huge job. It's not easy to do, and we are just beginning to work, and we are planning, and we are making our rules and regulations at the moment. You will soon see in the coming months that we are in the field. Our basis will be of doing that thing will be a national qualification framework. There is a document which is prepared by us. We have prepared it. UGC has sent it to the ministry for approval, final approval. The national qualification framework will contain all the degrees that are offered in the universities, all the higher degrees that are offered in the universities, and they will specify what is the prerequisite, what are the contents going to be, what are the curriculum, how they're going to be developed, and what the student is going to learn after they finishes that degree, and what is going to be that is the outcome-based education that we're talking about. Now, if this document is prepared, is finalized and approved by the government, which is in the process of approval, we will work from there. We'll see if some university wants to, for example, wants to get accreditation for their degree they offer, we will tell them, look, you have to follow the national qualification framework. First thing we're going to see that whether this fits in to that framework. If it is there, if the curriculum is properly developed, if the infrastructure is there, if the environment is there, and all other things that standards are going to be set, and if that is there, we are going to accreditate it. That process is coming, and universities, I'm very sure, private and public, all the universities are eagerly looking forward to see that their degrees are being accredited so that they are getting acceptance all over the world, at home and abroad. Because we know that in many of the cases, in many of the universities, the degrees are offered without going through proper curriculum, without teaching, without making proper assessment, etc., etc. These are things that are coming, and I assure you that we shall have that will have very good effect in the arena of higher education in Bangladesh. Having said so, I will like to look into what are the topics that this conference is going to address. These are very, very important. These are important for economy development and for entrepreneurship, all globalization and emerging economies for the people, for the society, for all of us. I would like to say a few words about these things. Globalization is the process of interaction and integration among people, as I look at it. Companies and government worldwide. As a complex and multifaceted phenomena, globalization is considered by some as a form of capitalist expansion, which entails the integration of local and national economies into a global, unregulated market economy. Globalization has grown due to advances in transportation and communication technology. With the increased global interactions comes with the growth of international trade, ideas, culture. Globalization is primarily an economic process of integration, and integration that's associated with social and cultural aspects. Economically, globalization involves goods, services, and the economic resources of capital, technology, and data. Also, the expansions of global markets liberalize the economic activities of the exchange of goods, services, the economic resources of capital, technology, and data. Also, the expansion of global markets liberalize the economic activities by the exchange of goods and funds. Removal of cross-border trade barriers has made formation of global markets more feasible. The term, the steam locomotive, steamship, jet engine, and contained ships and container ship are some of the advances in the means of transport. Advances to the means of transport, while the rise of the telegraph and the modern offspring, internet and mobile phones show development in telecommunications infrastructure. All these improvements have made major factors in globalization and have generated further interdependence of economic and cultural activities around the globe. Swedish journalist Thomas Larsson, in his book, The Race to the Top, The Real Story of Globalization, states that globalization is the process of world shrinkage of distances, getting shorter, things moving closer. It pertains to the increasing case with which somebody on one side of the world can interact to mutual benefit with somebody on the other side of the world. That is globalization. The main dimension of globalization are economic potential and cultural and ecological. A fifth dimension of ideological cutting across the other four. Entrepreneurship is the activity of setting up business, taking on financial risks in the hope of profit. Entrepreneurship is the process of designing, launching, and running a new business, which is often initially a small business. The people who create businesses are called entrepreneurs. The term entrepreneur is often conflated with the term small businesses, or used interchangeably with the term. While most entrepreneurial ventures start out as a small businesses, not all small businesses are entrepreneurial in the strict sense of the word. Many small businesses are sole proprietor separations consisting of solely of the owner. They have a small number of employees and do not aim at growth. In contrast, entrepreneurial ventures offer an innovative product, process, or services, and the entrepreneur typically aims in scale up the company by adding employees, C, having international sales, or and so on. In a person, in a process which is financially the venture capital. Successful entrepreneurs have the ability to lead a business in a joint venture direction by proper planning and to adapt changing environments and understand the emerging needs of the emerging strengths and weaknesses. Anyway, these things are not very new. You know all these things, and we will, in this international conference, they will be studied, they will be discussed, and it will create inspiration to the young generation and the academics here to study more, to get the advantage of globalization in the emerging economy, a country, as you have heard already, Bangladesh is a fast-growing economy which needs all these, the good effect of globalization to take advantage of it. There are bad side of it as well. And I will personally like to mention those big or great entrepreneurs like Bill Gates, for example, who started that thing in there, and Steve Jobs, who developed that Apple, say Bill Bezos, who developed Amazon.com, Jack Ma, who has developed that Alibaba.com, etc. These people, you study how they have struggled, what they have done, and get inspiration from there to become great entrepreneur in future. I will suggest all to make that a compulsory, that to study these great entrepreneurs, to put the life and the struggles and the efforts they have made to be a part of the academic curricula of ours. Also, I will mention Abraham Lincoln. You have heard of the 16th President of the United States, a very successful, who had gone through this Civil War. He had many, many failures until at the age of 54 he became elected there in the assembly, in the General Assembly. One has to learn from there that you study and you struggle and never give up when you fail. You have to get up, start, do it again. You must not allow failure to overcome your efforts and methods. With these words, I would like to thank you. And again, I thank you for inviting me here to speak before this August gathering. All Vice Chancellors, Dr. Sabur, the very pioneer here in efforts of taking entrepreneurship and globalization to the forefront of the young generation. I see many of my colleagues in the Dhaka University here, and also I welcome the guests who have come here to attend this international conference from here at home and abroad. Thank you very much.
Now to the points of the main program. Not only do we thank and recognize that many of you attending have traveled from many corners of the globe to contribute towards this event, the conference organizers would like to give a special welcome to the acclaimed scholars and academic keynote speakers who are present to contribute their wealth of knowledge to this event. I'm sure that everyone has had the opportunity now, hopefully, to view the program for the conference with great interest. But I would like to bring to your attention a few special events that's contained within the program itself, and I'm sure they will be of great interest to you. On that point, because we are delivering programs in different parts of the university, please read the program, make sure that you arrive in time, especially the chairs for the session and also the speakers themselves. It would help timing if you get there on time. So in fact, if I could bring to your attention session 2, which is a special plenary session from 11:30 to 11:50 hours, location 71, ground floor, Daffodil Tower. That will be by Rear Admiral Khalid Iqbal, and the theme would be Ocean Governance for Sustainable Maritime Development in the Bay of Bengal. Another one will be session 10, workshop, 1600 hours to 1700 hours, location room 608, which is on the 6th floor of the Daffodil Tower. Professor Hanka, Delhi Technological University, India, theme, creativity and innovation in entrepreneurship development in developing economies, the evidence from India. Another one, session 14. This will be a special panel session, 11:30 to 1300 hours or 1 o'clock, location room 605, again 6th floor, Daffodil Tower. Dr. Srinivasan, JBIMS, University of Mumbai, India, theme, changing landscape of rural. Now, I understand he may not be present, so there might be a substitute speaker for that. And of course, not that I'm actually promoting the next one, but the next one will be by myself. So it'll be session 20. So please get your pens and take note. Workshop 14:30 to 15:45, location room again 608, Daffodil Tower. The theme will be issues in educational leadership and diversity management. Fantastic subject. I promote that, so please try and all come to it. So moving ahead, for your information, at the end of the daily conferences, there will be an announcements. So before the final closure speeches of each day, the following announcements will be made. So announcement of the best paper presenters after days 1 and 2. And on the second day, announcement of conference best paper for the whole of the conference. I would like to make a special reference to the following assisting teams. The volunteer students teams of Daffodil University that has come together to assist us with the running of this conference, and the most valuable resident team members of the Center of Innovative Leadership Navigation. Ladies and gentlemen, should there be anything you need during the conference, these team members will be happy to assist. They've already been around, they have helped you. But so thank you, Team Daffodil, and thank you, Team CILN, in advance for your assistance. I think most of them are outside, but I'm sure the message will get through. And now for some minor information points. Timing will always be an issue, and therefore may I ask that presenters and session chairs be mindful of the allowed time, 12 minutes for a full paper with 3 minutes question time. Keynote speakers 20 minutes with again 3-minute question time, and the session chairs will be holding up cards 3, 2, 1, these being the minutes remaining for that particular session. Mobile phones, please have them on either silent or vibrate to give respect to the speakers. And of course the name badges, will be in relation to security. All conference participants are advised to keep their name badges on them at all times, and this will help the resident security to identify us as authorized visitors. The tea breaks will be around about 11 o'clock, of course, and I think we're just about on time, which will be served in the foyer of the conference reception.